Hello, ladies, gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new video. And it's been about a month. Actually, as I'm recording this, it has been exactly 1 month since the start of the Fresh Start servers. And as you guys know, we're playing on Artemis, but the most requested question on the stream is always to showcase my build video. Now, I have a couple of build videos out. One of them is my full build video from the main servers. And this video is going to showcase what you can pretty much accomplish in about 2 to 3 weeks. And I will showcase everything that I'm running and explain as to why I'm running it. Before we fully get into it, let's quickly talk about attributes. Obviously, after you pot up, for the sake of this video, let's use 1 carrot cake. After we pot up, we're gonna be 210 constitution and 300 strength. That is your bruiser standard. You don't really ever want to change this. This is perfection, tested, proven over the course of a year that the game's been out. You wanna definitely run this. When it comes to the weapon masteries, this is my war standard. I've played this in pretty much every single war for hundreds and hundreds of wars. So this is the charge setup. Now, Greataxe does offer you a few other options, like some people would maybe prefer whirlwind option, where you can then get a fortifying whirlwind and stuff like that. But for the sake of this video, to make it nice and short, I will just talk about what I have been personally using. So this is my Greataxe setup, and this is my Warhammer setup. And I don't really change this when it comes to wars at all, but if you are interested in all the other possibilities, I have a full biz video, I'll link it in the comments, that you can check, where I also explain the armor breaker setup, all sorts of different setups that you can run. But for the sake of this one, this is pretty much perfect. It will, you can't really go wrong with this exact build when it comes to wars. Now, the most important thing, let's talk about the gear. And after a month, I already have very solid gear. However, my gems are not ideal at the moment because I originally had onyxes in my amulet. Just to put it in perspective, it would look something like, let's say my standard would look something like this. This would be like before my amulet upgrades. My resistances would look like this. So 10% across elemental resistance. I accomplished that by simply having punishing opal on all my armor. And then the rest was basically onyx with 1 moonstone because I wanted more slash resistance. However, I recently upgraded my amulet into a full beast amulet. Stam recovery, slash protection and health, but this one is with opal. And then when we take a look at the ring, once again, this is a fresh server ring. I'm looking at this Mortal Empowerment Leeching Keen Awareness ring, and very often you'll see me running around with 10 plus Mortal Empowerment stacks, which is insane damage increase for a bruiser, right? So these kind of leaves me with a bad damage resistance types. However, I already have some pieces of gear that I will be upgrading, and I will just put punishing onyx on them instead, so it will balance my resistances a little bit better. Now, what you want to be looking for is definitely getting more than 10% elemental damage resistance. The reason for that is all the ultimate abilities are magic damage, all the weapons can convert into magic damage. It is just a meta where elemental resistance is slightly stronger, and you do also want to have a fair bit of slash resistance when it comes to bruiser. But let's go ahead and go through my weapons and armor. Now, when it comes to weapons, I got lucky enough where we crafted pretty much a full biz off the bat, and I told one of my boys, look, 200k, I'll pay it over time. I immediately have a full biz Greataxe. Now, refreshing move thwarting strikes chain damage, in my personal opinion, is biz. Some people will vouch for attunement over chain. That is completely fine. In my personal opinion, chain is better. And as you can see, I have this Arboreal Gambit on it for more damage. Well, a little bit less damage, but there is also a tick damage over time. So, it is just to split your damage sources a little bit. As you can see, I'm splitting my damage source both into chain damage, in nature damage, and in slash damage. So the damage is all across the board just because of the rune glass. And when it comes to my Warhammer, it's the same thing. Nature damage, and then I have chain void, and I also have, obviously, strike damage, right? So when it comes to commitment, you can farm this weapon on the top of Merkard, on this mage just right here after you push up, push up, push up. Right here on this little area, there is a Murgard Magus. It drops commitment. Very close to full beast hammer, in my opinion. Now, in the past, you would look for a shockwave, kindling powered, and something hammer. Nowadays, this is pretty much close to beast. Enchanted, if that was swapped for thwarting, I personally believe that's a full beast hammer. And now, kindling powered still has a position where it's good, in my opinion. That's why on my main I'm still running my good old kindling powered shockwave rogue, because you can do some crazy one-hit combos with it. But for a fresh start server, this is a beauty. I will not be upgrading this anytime soon. So weapons are already covered, okay? So we have these two out of the way. Now there is a world where I could do something extremely funky with my build. I could look, if you pay attention, I have Chain Void on this, Chain Void on this. If I wanted to, I could have void damage on my ring with, let's say, invigorated punishment, and let's say either leeching or hearty or something if I landed on that. And then what I could do is transfer all my gems into void damage gems and change all my weapons into void damage weapons as well. Now these, I'm not sure if it has been tested, but I might use the fresh server as a little testing ground to test that stuff out, and I might make a big video regarding that. But for now, we're going for just standard punishing across the board. And now this is where a lot of people are questioning me what is my priority when it comes to 2 perk pieces. Now the first thing that we did on the account is we farmed the regular pants. These pants can be farmed in Heliopolis during the daytime. So Heliopolis is right here in Brimstone. Right down here there's a little cat that spawns right next to Atom's Way, and you just kill the cat, 2-minute respawn, and you can drop it during the day. During the night, I believe the cat is located somewhere here. I have never killed the cat over the night. I've always done it during the day. And yeah, you obtain these pants very close to full beast. Once again, it has resi, it has shirking, and then that refreshing. These pants are gonna stay for a while. Obviously, eventually I will wanna get resi shirking freedom on it, or some people would maybe prefer a resi shirking refreshing word. So this was the first piece that I farmed, and from then I pre-bought all of my pre-bought resi shirking mods, and I just crafted every single thing manually right as I got 200 armoring, right? But it's just a normal 2-perker, so we're going with shirking resi on the helmet, shirking resi on the body. We landed on a legendary and got sturdy energy, slightly unlucky, but we'll take it. Resi shirking on the gloves. We got resi shirking, obviously refreshing on those legs, and then we got resi insatiable gravity well. So the important part when you're looking at the purple setup is you have that gravity well with resi. You go 5 times resi. You can also go 4 times resi theoretically, and then the rest you just put in shirking. Now, how am I gonna upgrade from this setup? I already have one full base piece right here, which is resi shirking freedom. I personally prefer freedom. I've played builds with freedom and with refreshing mode. My personal preference is freedom. It's almost like having merc treads in League of Legends. Just getting out of those CCs is just nice for me personally. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make myself obviously wear this in the future. So freedom shirking resi, and then I will craft myself a full beast gravity well piece with freedom, not with shirking. So all my money is now going into freedom gravity well crafts, and hoping I land on legendary, and hoping that legendary rolls a resilient, and that will give me a resi freedom and gravity well piece. At that point I will then change one of my resi shirking pieces for resi freedom pieces. So my next setup after this one is going to be 5 resi, 3 freedom, and 3 shirking, I believe. And then you upgrade from there into full beast setups, right? And then you kind of got a glance on my amulets already. Stam recovery / protection health is complete full beast. Right after that, there is a champion's amulet that is very close second with that shirking in power, of course. If we move on to rings, I personally vouch for a Mortal Empower ring, but that is because I can easily drop 20, 30, even 40 kills as a bruiser. Obviously because I have a little bit more experience than a lot of fresh server players. But also, instead of this, you could look for something like Invigorated Punishment / damage with either Leeching or Hearty. That would be considered a fairly good ring. Or if you want a free option, Champion's Ring is, well, I don't actually have it on this. Champion's Ring is obviously going to be a phenomenal option. And now when we look at earrings, I actually completely forgot that I had an earring that I wanted to use, which is going to be this, and in fact I'll use it right now. So you can use Doomschance, which is a free option that you can get from Genesis, right? It has refreshing toast, regenerating, or you can look for an earring like I have right here with refreshing toast, regenerating and purifying toast. Now this is actually a better option, so we are going to be wearing this one, and we are going to be upgrading this one real quick to 6 to 5. I do have the shards to do so. And this is going to be my new war setup. And that is honestly all there is to it. Once again, as I upgrade some pieces, I'll put more onyxes in. I want my elemental damage resistance to be at around 10%, not 15%. It is too much right now. And I want my physical resistance, my slash damage to be at around 15%. If I accomplish that, I'm pretty happy with my setup. And as I said, I will be doing that thanks to these boots. I can just put punishing onyx on them, and I pretty much balance my stuff accordingly, right? That being said, I really hope you guys do enjoy this video. I have a lot of fresh server videos in the making. This is a server situation at the moment. We are currently losing to Hot Grills, which are a slightly better company than us at the moment, but we're holding Brimstone, Ebon Scale, and these two territories right here. So pretty balanced server. We're playing on Artemis once again, if anybody wants to create characters on our servers or anything like that. And yeah, catch me on the live stream if you want to learn more about the game, if you have any questions, any concerns, anything like that. I'm almost always streaming over on twitch.tv/MikaRS. With that being said, thank you once again for watching this video. I'll see you again tomorrow, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye bye. See ya.